Hi, I'm Katie from Heart's Content Farmhouse, and today we are going to be making a very easy, very simple recipe for sourdough banana bread. So every sourdough baker is always looking for recipes to use up discarded sourdough starter. Every time you feed it, you need to discard a little bit of it or else it will totally take over your kitchen and become a crazy mess. So it feels wrong to just dump it in the trash. And so we always want recipes where we can use it up. I do have a video for a sourdough pizza crust that is another sourdough discard recipe, and also one for sourdough carrot cupcakes. This is another one along that same line of the cupcakes. It's a sourdough banana bread. And I feel like when you hear the title, you probably think that would be gross because sour and banana bread do not sound like they go together, but it doesn't taste like sourdough at all. It really, if you ever bake with buttermilk and you get that like really subtle tangy taste that you can barely even detect, it's kind of like that. Or even like when you add yogurt to a baked good, it doesn't taste sour, it doesn't taste like sourdough. It's just a way to use up an ingredient that you would otherwise throw away, and you kind of feel good about yourself when you use it. So our very first step is just like making any kind of cake. We are going to beat the butter and sugar in a large mixing bowl. We're using 1/4 cup of butter. You want it softened to room temperature, and unsalted or salted are both going to work. If you do use salted, you can just leave the salt out of the recipe. I typically use unsalted. It's also going to be 1 cup of sugar, just plain white sugar. It's not a health food. And then we are going to add in, once that has beaten together, we're going to add in an egg. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we are going to add in 3 mashed, very ripe bananas. The bananas are really a critical ingredient here. If you have sort of ripe bananas, it's not really going to be a very good banana bread. You want them ripe to overripe, and that is what is really going to give you a more sweet and moist banana bread. And then we put in 1 cup of our unfed, discarded sourdough starter. We feel very superior while we do it. And then we are going to mix our dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So that's 1.5 cups of regular flour, the salt if you need it, a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Just mix those quick in a big bowl, and then slowly add those into your other ingredients and mix everything together. You pour this into a greased loaf pan. You could also do this as muffins, by the way. But so for a loaf pan, we're going to bake it at 350 for 1 hour. If you're doing it as muffins or cupcakes, I would do about 25 minutes. Sometimes I will serve this like with a caramel icing, which isn't super healthy, but that's okay. And sometimes I will serve it as a loaf and make it more of a breakfast food. But either way, it's really simple, really easy, and something that I think you'll enjoy if you're a regular sourdough baker and you're trying to use some of that starter up. So thank you for watching. I hope you try this recipe and have a good day. Bye.